Gravel.
Yeah. It's like the gravel like road thing that leads up to the clubhouse. But on the gravel road, like before the clubhouse, like right before it, it juts off into a path into the woods on the right. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, what's back there? So, me and 3 girls. So we like, one day we're all walking and we're like, let's go see what the fuck this is all about. So we go in, the way it's set up is like, the path juts off like this. And it's like a bridge. But it's not like the same kind of bridge where it's like metal and shit. It's like dirt built around like a sewage pipe. And it's like, I don't understand why, but whatever. So we like go in and it opens up into a clearing that's like an oval shaped. On the left is a swing set that you can't see because there's like, it's in the woods. But it's like cleared and there's a swing set with no swings, just the chains. And then on the right, there's a spiral staircase that leads up. It looks about 2 stories tall, and there's nothing. And we're like, what the fuck? And there's like a collapsed tree in the middle that's like, not like completely fallen over, but like broken to where it's like this. Like part of it's still up. And we were like, what the fuck? So I walk up the spiral staircase, I get to the top. It falls while I was up there. It was like, I was fine because I like jumped off. And I was like, that was crazy. And I went home and I remember talking to my dad about it. And I was like, what is that? Because it was obviously like old, but it wasn't like, it wasn't old to where it was like more than 30 years old. Like it was kind of rusty, but it wasn't like decrepit, you know, other than the fact that there was no swings. And my dad was like, oh, there used to be like a slide there and swing set and like sandbox and shit. And he was like, it's for like the kids at the football field. And I was like, oh. And he was like, look, and he pulls out a picture of me. And I was a baby. There's like this yellow slide. And it's like in the woods. It's like a yellow slide, like a spiral slide. And I look at it, it's the same fucking spiral staircase leading up to it as the one I climbed and fell down in the woods. And I was like, that's it. That's the place. And my dad was like, yeah. It used to be there like when you were a kid and they took it away or for some reason. And I was like, why did they take it away? And he was like, oh, some kid got hurt there. I was like, oh, this is a lot of shit in my town. They're like, they closed it because kids got fucked up on it. And I was like, what happened? My dad was like, the slide collapsed when he was on it. And it was like, you know how at the playground at Red Ridge, there's like it's like the spiral slide, but at the top there's like a little like clubhouse looking thing. It's like a castle almost. Mm-hmm. That he fell, it was like he was in that and he got like fucked up because it like fell onto him. And they said he like fucked up his neck or something, and he was like in a wheelchair. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's creepy as fuck. And my dad was like, yeah, why are you asking me? I was like, because I was there earlier today and I was on that staircase when it fell. And my dad was like, you were almost that second motherfucker doing the same shit that first kid did, except you didn't die or like get fucked up. I was like, yeah, that's pretty crazy, right? I was like, what about the swings? Why aren't there any swings there? And he was like, I don't know, probably just over time they broke. And I was like, it's just the chains. And my dad was like, that's weird. Like, why would they just keep the chains there? And I was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. And so I didn't think anything of it. And I go back like maybe a year later. I'm like, I was like 10 that first time. I go back a year later, I'm like 11 or 12. And it's like beginning of summer, end of spring, like April probably. And it's end of hunting season, like for deer. And it's me, that girl Hannah, my friend Cameron, one of the same kids who was with me that broke into Duberson with me. We're like in the woods, and we like walk. We're like, I was like, oh, let's go check out this place. It used to be a playground. And they're like, sure. So we walk in. On the chains that were on the swing set, tied up is a deer. Like this, cut open with no guts, but under it is just like blood, like a big ass pile of blood. Mm-hmm. And it was chained, like with the swing set chains, hanging.
So people just use that to like gut deers.
But they left the body. They didn't take any of the meat. They just cut the guts out of it. Like it was all on the floor.
It wasn't messed with though. You know they let it hang out and dry, right?
Yeah, but it was just, like there was no people like anywhere. It's fucking creepy.
Yep, they probably just leave it there.
Yeah, is that creepy as fuck though?
Yeah.
They just leave it in the middle of the woods. That's terrifying. You ever gutted a deer?
No.